Hey guys, I want to bring up something we talk about every once in a while on here, but we have a lot of new people coming onto the channel. We've talked about this in the past, and it's kind of an interesting thing for expats. A lot of the expats that are over here tend to have this same issue, and I myself fall into this, and many others do. Some, it doesn't matter whose fault it is or anything like that, because a lot of people jump into the fault game. Everybody deserves a second chance no matter who they are. And some of these guys coming over here, they're telling me their stories, and I hear a lot of these stories, and it's kind of sad because I hear all these guys on the phone that talk to me. Almost all of them have children that stop talking to them, usually because of politics, because of family issues or what have you, and they stop talking to their parents or their grandparents in this case. In some cases, in my case, it's my daughter. We just had a falling out. I don't think it's fixable. In most cases, with these other people, they feel the same way. They feel like the people won't give them a chance, or they just don't want to get back in because of the way they think or what have you. And in my case, it's kind of like that. I'm not sure where I stand with my case, but I know that I think it's almost irreconcilable. And a lot of these other people are telling me the same, that they have irreconcilable differences with, whether it be their kids, their brothers and sisters, the rest of their whole family in some cases. It might have been over a will, it might have been something stupid, whatever it may be. But it seems to be very prevalent amongst expats, whether they're from the UK, whether they're from Australia, whether from the US, wherever it may be, France. A lot of these people tell me the same thing, that their kids no longer talk to them. And I'm not sure why that is, but I remember when I was home and I was talking to some older guys back home, a lot of those guys had the same issues. A lot of them were in situations where they were kind of lonely, felt left out. And I'm wondering if that's what drives people to come here in a lot of cases. It seems like it is. I know what a lot of people hear. A lot of people talk about the politics, but the underlying factor is some of their kids got involved with these politics or what have you, and they fell into that political stuff. We usually don't talk much politics on here, and this here I want to kind of touch on this a little bit just because it's kind of important. It's the culture of the United States now with the kids that no matter who it is, if they disagree with you, they just kind of throw you in the trash heap of life and move on. And I kind of find that in so many cases with so many people here. And I'm going to tell you something. I think these people are missing out on some really wonderful people, because I'm seeing them over here. And you know what? We're getting the good people. A lot of people say that the expats over here are all drunks, alcoholics, sexpats. That supposedly they all fall into that stereotype. And something, it's not true. Our group is a fantastic group. We have virtually every type of expat you can think of, pretty much, with the exception that most of them don't drink. Most of our expats are good people. We have a lot of Christians in our group. We have a lot of people that aren't religious in our group, but they're just nice people. And that's what a community is about, that we're accepting of everybody, that we love everybody in the group. We work with everybody in the group. And that's what I love the best about what we have here. And a lot of people coming over here, they kind of need that love and affection because they didn't get it when they were home, and I noticed that the Filipinos, that are in our group, that live near me and stuff, have accepted all the expats as family. We consider them all as family, because you know what? Family is not always blood. The people in our group have become really strong, number one, and the love for each other that we have for each other is really, really good. We joke with each other, we razz each other about different stuff, and it's kind of nice having somebody that you can joke with and, enjoy a day with, or go out with, or go for a walk with, or, take a ride up to Manila, or somebody, if you're sick, like I've said in the past, and you go to the hospital and somebody's there for you, somebody's there to look out for you. Or if you're out and about and you forget something, you can call them and say, hey, I forgot to lock my door. Can you run over and lock my door? Because you're far away or whatever. Those are the type of things that it's nice to have friendship and community with. And, back home, a lot of these people didn't have that, and it's unfortunate. And I did a video on this a long time ago about, the fact that so many people out there have kids that don't talk to them. And, something, I'm always willing to make peace with my family, anybody in my family. I really am. But I'm not going to have rules and regulations that I have to follow, guidelines that they set and say, well, if you want to be this with me, you have to do this, this, and this. It's love is something that doesn't have any regulations or laws or stipulations. You love that person no matter what. And that's the way I feel about love. Love is very important to older people. It keeps you living longer. There's actually statistics out there that people that are in a good relationship live longer than people that are in a bad relationship. And it doesn't even have to be a relationship. It could be just a loving community and having a loving family that's there for you, that's around you. Those are key components to a good life, a happy life, and a long life. And I talk about this every once in a while briefly because I know it's a subject that it kind of hurts to talk about with a lot of people. It certainly hurts to talk about it, as far as me, sometimes to talk about it, but it also hurts other people to talk about that. And it's something I tell people, leave that behind or whatever. Leave that excess baggage behind. Once in a while, just touch on it. And if that person wants to touch base with you, see where it goes, but don't get too involved and waste your time on it if you think it's going the wrong way again. Just let it go, move on. I'm not a hateful person. I'm a forgiving person. You can still forgive somebody. It doesn't mean you have to talk to them, and that's the good part about life, is that you can forgive people. It doesn't mean they have to be your best friend. It doesn't mean you have to talk to them 24/7. You can forgive people and never see them again, But if it's somebody in your family that you want to get back in and they're willing to try, then, give them a try, see where it goes. But remember, don't always go back and get hurt again, because some of these people will hurt you a second time and a third time and a fourth time. And if it's going to be that way, let that go, because it's not worth it. It's showing you that the relationship is pretty much dead. I hate to see expats when they come back to me and say, hey, I tried calling my son, my daughter, or whatever, or a family member, and they went off on me again. And I've had this happen to me myself. That hurts, and it can hurt your blood pressure and things like that. When you're over here, live life. If it's going to hurt you, don't do it. Don't bother with them. Just forget it. Let it go. I've been here for 4 years, and I don't bother too much with that, because I know if I go back to that, it's going to hurt me again. I'm waiting for that person to grow up. If they grow up and come back to me, I'll be glad to accept that relationship back. But there's a lot of hurt in this world, and we all have to get through that. And so for some people, and you guys know who you are too, it's best to just leave that baggage there and don't touch it again. Leave it back in the States. Leave it on the tarmac. And just walk away from it and say, I'm done with that life. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to start my new great life in the Philippines. And if it means joining our community or some other community, our community, like I said, we're here to help you. We're here to look after you. We're a tight-knit group, and we're getting tighter as we go. And as I see people come into the group, they feel really at home with us really quickly. And that's a good thing for us and for them, because in our group, we love everybody. We don't care who they are. Some people make mistakes, and we realize that, but sometimes some people aren't good for the group. They just don't work out in the group. We have to let them go and tell them, you're not a good fit because of this, and this, whatever it may be. And that's the way it is. But anyway, guys, I want to talk about that a little bit, because I think that's really key and important in life over here, because you don't want to bring this stuff here, but I know some people do. And if you think you can iron it out, it might be worth ironing it out. And if you don't think it is, then move on and just go on with your life and make your life here the best it can be. Because you know what? The Philippines is a great place to have a new life. It's a fresh start, and it's a good place to have that fresh start. And you'll have family members here that are fantastic. Most relationships over here go pretty good. There's going to be bumps in the road over here, just like there is back in the States. And when you see those bumps, just take care of them. If it's with a girlfriend or something like that, and the girl's not fit for you, then you can move on. And that's the good part about that. But most people end up finding a good relationship over here that they're happy with, and that's the great part about the Philippines. And also for single guys here that are older, that don't want to get married for one reason or another, you know what? This is also a good place. It's a fantastic place to be, because you can still find a family here that will look after you. And in our community, you got us, all of us. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.